This is good. Good afternoon. Happy lunchtime. It's Tuesday. And yes, I know I'm not normally live on a Tuesday lunchtime. And I didn't go live yesterday because too much excitement with the new website. But I am joined, as you can see, by the fabulous Lyn Chapman. Good afternoon, Lyn.
Hello.
Hi. So just for those of you that are joining us, if you've never joined one of my lives, I'm usually live every Monday at around 8:15 here on LinkedIn and on YouTube and on my Facebook business page. I just get everywhere, so why not? So Lyn and I have known each other for a little while now, and we're both members of the Athena Network, which is a professional ladies networking group based in Nottinghamshire. And those of you who know me know that I actually don't live in Nottinghamshire, but it doesn't matter. So Lyn, would you like to just introduce yourself to everybody and tell me a little about you and what you do and who you work with?
Yeah, so I'm a personal branding photographer. I'm based in Chesterfield, Derbyshire. I work all over the UK. I don't go into central London though. I've got friends. It's too much hassle going on the tube with my stuff. I've got friends who live in central London, so I pass them over. I work with small to medium business owners who really want to stand out from the crowd, want something a bit more personal to attract their ideal client. So, something a bit out there, something that's going to stop the scroll.
And that is absolutely it, isn't it? It's when I look at my analytics, which I'm quite sad because I look at them a lot, can't think why. So on LinkedIn, in fact, I was running a session yesterday and I looked at my top performing posts for engagement, which is what we all want. We want people not just to like, so people to do something with it. It was really interesting that it was a blend. And actually, I've got a question for you about this because it was a blend of beautiful, professionally taken photographs versus also some really rubbish selfies that yours truly took. How do you feel about the fact that with our mobile phones, everybody's all of a sudden become a photographer? Do you think that's a challenge now?
So I love a selfie. So don't get me wrong, they have a massive place in your business. We carry them everywhere, don't we? We've always got a mobile phone with us. So they're great for capturing things, when you're out and about, when you're having lunch with a friend, when you're networking, when something exciting, you're out with a client and something exciting happens and you want to capture that. You can't always have a professional photographer with you. So I think they're absolutely great. And having a mixture of the two, it's really beneficial for your business. Yes, the professional photos are good, but the selfies as well, if you mix some of those in, they're more spur of the moment, and it really helps to get people to know, like, and trust you.
It does, doesn't it? But I think there's also the other element, which is where you come in, which is the branding side of it. And we had a coffee a couple of weeks ago. We were chatting about this very topic. So when I rebranded 3 years ago, I felt, and I think for a lot of us that run our own business, I think our brand evolves as we change as business owners. And I think that's really important that we recognize that. So I changed my branding to be softer edged, a little bit more feminine, because 85% of my clients are women. And I know a lot of your clients are women too. But we both work with lovely men too. We both like men too. Let's be clear on that. But I think it's really important that your brand photography should mirror your brand, shouldn't it?
Yeah. It's all about being cohesive with your brand. So your branding colors, everything has got to translate into your branding photos as well. So, for example, if your branding colors, like I know yours are, the nice soft peachy pink and blue, you wouldn't then come to your branding session wearing bright yellow and green, for example, because it's not cohesive. They sit separately. So everything's got to work together. And when you're thinking about what type of branding photos you are, you've got to have that branding in mind as well. So like you say, soft, feminine, that's what you're going for. Are you, you know, is your brand more about being striky and edgy? You know, then you can take the photos in a different direction. So it's all about keeping everything cohesive. It's all got to work together.
And I think that's absolutely key, isn't it? Because it's a bit like I'll say to people that your social media profiles need to reflect you and your brand in the same way as if they then leave lovely LinkedIn and go onto your website, that they know that they're in the right place. And good photography will do that, won't it? It'll instantly, it's instant, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is. Like I say, if they leave, they leave your social media, if they leave LinkedIn to go onto Facebook, again, that's all got to match. If they leave LinkedIn to go onto your website, like you say, it's all got to match. It's all got to feel like it's the same person. Otherwise, they're going to be thinking, is this the same? Is this the same person that I've just
Yeah.
met?
And that's why, if you think about it, I suppose, and we haven't rehearsed this because I think it's much better just to chat really spontaneously, is if you think about, I don't know, if you went into one of my favorite brands, Mint Velvet shop. We have not got any up here yet in the East Midlands, but there's a Mint Velvet shop in Leamington Spa. If I went to Mint Velvet in Leamington Spa and then went into Mint Velvet in Milton Keynes, for argument's sake, I would know I was in the right place because their branding, their social media posts, their website, their shops, everything has the same feel, doesn't it?
Yeah, and it is all about that feel, isn't it?
And I think, you know, for you, tell us a little bit, how did you get into brand photography then, Lyn?
Kind of by accident, which I think a lot of branding photographers kind of do. Again, it's one of those things that's come over from the States, like a lot of trends do. So I started doing corporate photography, which is very similar to branding photography, quite a number of years ago. So I was in the wedding industry. I did wedding photography. So I'd work with wedding suppliers and I would go and take their headshots and take some photos for them behind the scenes and that sort of thing. So that's how I got into branding photography. Then when the trend started coming over from America and it was more about the personal side as well, and really showing much more behind the scenes and how people work with you. And I started thinking, do you know what? I really, really like that. I really want to get more into it. And I
Mm,
absolutely love it.
And it is. And what do people say when they've had a photo shoot? I know we've just been on our Athena meeting with the lovely Lee Gadsby. For example, what did Lee say about this experience of working with you in this capacity,
Oh,
time and space?
yeah, she thought it was fantastic. And, you know, the fact that I put her at ease. Let's face it, nobody likes her. I don't think I've ever met anybody who likes having their photos taken.
No, my brother-in-law loves having his photograph taken.
He's
But
the only
in
exception.
fairness, I think he did train to be an actor, so I think he's not unused to putting himself out there. And I think, but the mere mortals like us
The others, yeah, we don't like it.
hate
We don't
it.
like thinking, you know, oh my God, what do I do with my hands? How do I sit? How do I pose? That's where I come in. I'm there to help and guide you to get those natural smiles and a natural laugh because, you know, we're all sitting there going,
I
smile.
know, and it is, and you hate it. It's like whenever I do these lives, I never ever watch myself back because I look at it and I think, should have done something different with my hair, should have worn a different top, should have worn a brighter lipstick. And we're so down on ourselves.
Yeah,
And when you work with a photographer, I remember about must be about 2-3 years ago, I had some professional photographs done. Now I work with a great photographer. And I said to him, I said, oh, I don't, no, oh God, I'm all teeth. I'm all teeth. And he went, no, you're not. He says, that's what you see. He said, what I see is somebody who's really happy, that's loving what they're doing, really engaged with their people, because we did a shoot with some other people. And I think that is the difference is when you do it yourself. So we'll talk about headshots in a minute. When I talk to my lovely clients and I'll say, your LinkedIn profile photograph it needs to look like you, but on a really good day, hopefully. And for us girls, a good hair day, ideally. But if you then, and this is the risk. So people say, "Oh, but I haven't got budget to get photos done." I say, "Well, if you're really tight on cash, get somebody that you know and trust to take a photograph of you against a nice background. Get dressed as though you're going for a meeting." But the risk you've got then is exactly what happened in Karen's world. Is you look at it on your phone and you go, "Oh no, oh no, oh no." Whereas you can be that objective person to direct people, can't you?
Yeah. And I think it is about getting out of your own head when you are having your photos done, because like you say, we're all so self-critical of ourselves. We will look at stuff of ourselves that our clients would never ever see. Like you said about you, oh, I'm all teeth. What your clients would see was an amazing smile, for example. So we have got to get out of our own heads. I always talk to people before the shoot as well to ask them if they've got any hang-ups. I've had people say, I prefer being photographed from the left side rather than the right side, which then I take into consideration. Or as for me, I don't like photos taken side on because I don't like my side profile. So I always ask people, what are their hang-ups? Let's get it out in the open so I can try and work around that and try and make you feel comfortable as well when you look at your photos that you're actually going to love them.
Well, that's great, isn't it? And the doorbell rings.
Always typical.
He can just wait. He can just wait. The cat was, and this is why this stuff happens when I do lives. I just had to stop the cat because she's currently got an obsession. She hears a voice on my computer and she wants to talk to them. So if you saw my hand, that was me pushing the lovely Lulu away.
Yeah,
Because
my
it was
dog
just,
usually does the same thing, so I'm surprised
yeah.
she's not up here.
So one of the things that we talk with it that I absolutely love about being part of the Athena network is that we will often collaborate and work together. And you and I, when we met a couple of weeks ago, we were talking about finding a way to work together. And in September, I'm hosting an in-person LinkedIn workshop. It's the 19th of September. And we were talking about the fact that a big part of that we focus on is making sure your profile does you justice. That people land there and get a sense of who you are and how, that feeling about you. And that comes from your profile, but it also comes from your headshot.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I know I'm taking it you've seen the amount of disastrous headshots people are using for their LinkedIn profile, any social media profile. I've seen them all. You sitting in your swimwear, sitting in a bar, in a nightclub, each with your kids, with your partner. It's like, no, it's got to be a clear photo of you. It's got to look professional, but it's also got to look like you. So people can automatically see.
It has. And actually, the best compliment I ever got about a profile photo was I was at an event, a business event in Nottingham, and this guy walked up to me and said, "Hello, you're Karen." And I said, "Yes, I am. We haven't met before." I said, "Yeah, but I recognise you from your photograph on LinkedIn. We've chatted on LinkedIn." So what you and I have decided rather crazily to do is to add in a little element of collaboration for this LinkedIn workshop where you're going to come along and people have got the option to upgrade their day to include a little mini headshot session with you.
Yeah, exactly. Because you're teaching them all about LinkedIn and how to get, that on point. And if the profile picture is letting them down, then, it needs to be rectified. So, yeah, so I'm going to be there on the day taking some headshots for people. So when they get home, they've got those headshots to be able to update their LinkedIn profile.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think that will just add another element to the day because we all have this thing about it's one of those jobs we're going to get done. It's one of those jobs we're going to get done is get new headshots. Well, join us, everybody, on the 19th of September. You can either come for the morning, which is just doing the workshop, and within some time in the morning, if you're just there for the morning, Lyn will grab you to go and do a mini headshot session. Or you've got the option to stay for the whole day, where we're going to do an implementation session in the afternoon, which may be easier to do your photos then. So people have got the opportunity to do that. The links have just gone live. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop those links in the post below this. And then what we'll do, I think, Lyn, is when people book, I'll email them and say, do you want to, book in with Lyn? And we'll sort it out that way. But I think this is a wonderful opportunity to access your expertise at a really cost-effective rate that is going to give them, I think we said 3 shots, didn't we?
Yeah, 3 images. Yeah.
So you'll get 3 images, which you can use for your profile. Make sure that your profile rocks, and then the world's your oyster, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And change it on all your social media platforms.
Absolutely.
Platform.
Absolutely. And, you can even put them on your website. I mean, I would say that 85% of my social media posts, unfortunately, have this ugly mug on it, because people will engage. I remember reading, and just before we finish, I thought I'd share this with you. I remember reading some data, and I do love a bit of data because you can't argue with it. And it said that people are 75% more likely to engage with a post that's got a photograph of you in it.
Yeah, it's so true. So true.
And I think on that note, let's end our little lunchtime chat. It's been brilliant to have you here, and I will look forward to seeing you very soon.
I'll see you soon. Thanks, Karen.
Thanks, Lyn. Thank you.